What's going on, everybody? I'm Mickey, and this is Mickey's Corner. What's going on out west? I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing the news and just what's going on. Okay, out west, Arizona, California, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Nevada, it's all severe, extreme drought conditions. Now let's take a look around and kind of see what's going on there and see what some of the news articles are saying about this. All right, well, let's take a look and dig in and see what we can find. We're going to take a few stops at different websites. I'll provide the link in the description below to all the information we find today. And let's take a look and see how bad it actually is. All right, just a simple search can show you multiple websites reporting on this. So let's stop first at the New York Times. So the New York Times has to say, basically, so the New York Times, take a look at that picture. That's Orville, Lake Orville in California. And you can see clearly how low the water levels are there right now. Much of the western half is in the grips of a severe drought of historic proportions. So it's affecting not just California, all the Southwest, and extending up into the Pacific Northwest, into Canada, all across Montana, North and South Dakota. It's having a drastic effect on farmers and ranchers in that area. And not to mention the wildfires, which is a whole nother video just in itself. The wildfires right now are out of control. They cannot be contained. Now let's take a look at CNET.com. June was the hottest ever on record. So that's saying a lot right there. So as of July 13th, 28% of the western U.S. was in exceptional drought levels. In other words, the extent of the most extreme levels of drought in the West is more than double what it has been at any point in this century. It's out of control. California's reservoirs and other storage facilities are below 20% of normal at some key points. Over here at CNN, 94% of the West is in drought. 94%. That's a huge section of the western United States. For the second week in a row, conditions deteriorated in the Pacific Northwest. So this drought is not only affecting California and, the typical Death Valley, which Death Valley hit 130 degrees the other day. And also, if you look, here's the stream and river flow. This is telling you what the streams in that area, which is mainly from snowmelt, all across the entire West, are much below normal. So the water is just not reaching the dams and the rivers. And over here at CBS News, you can see they're talking about tree rings and how unprecedented this drought actually is. And you can see, take a look at the tree rings. Let's talk about, is this just a short time drought? Is this some type of mega drought? They're claiming it to be a mega drought at this point. So let's dive in and take a look. Here on the left, you can see the tree rings. And if you know about trees, you understand that the tree rings kind of indicate growth in that particular year. And over here at CBS News, what they're telling us is it lasts for decades. The tree rings indicate that the decade-long droughts are the normal in this area. So just one number to point out here. Here it clearly shows that the last what they're calling the fourth period, was from 1575 to 1603. That's 30 years, and we're currently 20 years into a drought right now that they're saying is going to be even worse. So what does that mean for the people living in that area? I'm not sure, but I would sure want to be prepared. If you live in California, if you live in the West, I'm sure at this point you're already receiving requirements to reduce your water flow, agricultural, and just all industry related to needing water to keep itself going. It's all receiving cutbacks. Residential, no more grass, no more swimming pools, manicured lawns. That's all coming to an end for at least another 10 years. And it's not just going to be in your area. If you go over here now to the official droughtmonitor.unl.edu map, you can see I pulled up the entire United States. Look at the size of this drought. Now, one thing I want to point out is not only is it covering just the West, but it reaches all the way across the top of the United States and touches down in Maine, New England. And I know I have confirmed from reports that last summer in Maine, the lakes were lower than anyone that's alive today can remember. They drain them out because it's just like in the West. They use that water as a reserve to do agricultural things, fisheries, entire industries are using this water out of these lakes to feed them. And they had to keep that water flowing longer in order to break even, to make sure that their fish and their agricultural could stay alive at that time. And the lakes up there hit an unprecedented low level last year, and it looks to me like we're going to see it again this year. So how bad does it actually look? Well, let's take a look at Hoover Dam. This picture is famous and you've seen it before, but where they are at right now at Hoover Dam, the water level has reached a point where it is so low that they're not going to be able to continue to run the generators that are providing electricity for pretty much all of California and Nevada and Arizona. At a certain point, the water doesn't have enough weight and pressure to turn the turbines as efficiently, and they start losing efficiency in the way the turbines work. So they're going to have to slow down. They don't have a choice. So not only is it going to affect your water supply, but it's also going to affect your electrical grid and being able to keep those air conditioners running on those hot summer days. This is Lake Shasta in California, and it's quite obvious how low the water levels are. Lake Shasta is currently at 37% capacity. And this is one of many reservoirs around the California area that all rely upon snowmelt to gain water, and they just don't have it. If you look here, this is a nice map that shows you basically what's going on in California, and you can see some of the numbers are quite drastic. 13% full at Isabella, 27% full at Pine Flat. San Luis, 31% full. Orville, which is a major dam, 31% full. Shasta, 37%. And currently Lake Mead is 35% full. And not to mention Lake Powell at 34% full. And this is all part of the power grid for this entire area. It looks like it's going to be a bumpy ride out west. I hope everybody is prepared. Cut back on your usage. Cut back on what you need to water your grass, to fill your pools. Get some bottled water. And you might even need to start considering relocating if it continues to get worse. There's going to be major upsets in the food supply because Napa Valley in the surrounding area is where most of the food is grown in the United States. So let's hope, right? That's all we can really do. Hope and find a way to get through this. And as you can see from the articles we just looked at, it's pretty grim. And if you have a garden like me, you're always thinking about water. We're trying to keep this greenhouse going, and we're trying to keep our garden fresh. Now, out west, major commercial farms are starting to really feel the effect of this. So be prepared for our increase in food cost if you haven't seen it already. I don't know, $800 a month to go grocery shopping? Wow, no thank you, but that's what's going on right now. And conserve your water, because this may spread out. You think you're safe in Wisconsin or North Dakota, it might be coming for you next. So whether you believe in global warming, climate change, science, solar cycles, the bottom line is this: water is gonna be a problem. We're starting to see major droughts popping up all over the country. Even in Maine, they're in a current water crisis up there, and the whole situation is just beginning. And let's hope we get some rain. Everybody, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe, because I sure need the viewers. And have a nice day.